Hey, happy welcome back to remote learning for the next 2 weeks, minimum. I don't know, we have 2 weeks scheduled here to be remote, and then 1 week to be home, and then off for holiday break. So, here's what we're going to cover today. This video is about the Lost Marbles math project. I'm going to be assigning the project tomorrow, which is Monday, November 30th. You're going to have 10 days, roughly-ish, to do it and complete it. Then, when it's complete, just like last time with the math project, it's expected to be 3 paragraphs following the math project guideline, which is also on Google Drive. And this particular project fits right along with the ratios and stuff we've been working with ourselves. Ratios, fractions, potato, sort of stuff. Andy was on his way to a marble tournament, because you know, Andy and his marble tournaments. When he met Bob, Andy's bag of marbles was heavy, so he gave Bob half of his marbles plus 2, because Andy's lazy. Then he met Cindy and gave her a quarter of his remaining marbles, plus 5. Just before arriving at the tournament, he met Denise and gave her half of the marbles he had left. So clearly Andy's losing his marbles. Interpret that however you want. When he got to the tournament, he had 2 marbles left. How many marbles did he start with? So attacking this project, I would look at the problem first. I would probably work backwards to figure out the total number of marbles that he started with. That's going to be my hint to you. As always with projects like this, remember I am not going to help you. However, you can do the following. I got to adjust myself here to get used to being back in front of the screen like this. 1, you can work with anyone. Now, we talked about the match project before, and when we say anyone, we literally mean anyone. I've given you some examples, some stories about that, about students I've had before working in the past with strangers I met in the park. Oddly enough, help them out, although I don't recommend talking to strangers in the park. You know, don't talk to strangers. Second, work with your parents, sure. Work with your friends, absolutely. Work with another teacher, go for it. Work with Dr. Google, go for it. Hey Siri, can you tell me the answer to this? Siri might be able to tell you the answer, that's all good, but if you can't explain the whole math behind it, that's a problem. So yeah, work with anyone. Second part of it, the layout. So remember, this is a typed document. Do it in your Google Docs, that way you can just share it with me, whatever you need to edit, you can all collaborate on it if you need to. But each person must have their own document. It must have your name on it, it must be typed, and you can attach any scratch work you have to it. Now, here's the thing though. Make sure the first paragraph, okay, this is paragraph number 1, that's going to be your restatement. So this is where you basically rephrase the question, okay? So you rephrase it, and when you rephrase the question, you're putting it into your own words. Now that's a relatively short question. For when you look at it, you'll know what I mean. If you can kind of see it there, it's actually pretty small. It's not nearly like the Thanksgiving project that I gave you guys we were talking about, right? So you're rephrasing the question, put it in your own words. Let's say you want to earn that extra bonus point. So maybe you rephrase the question in a total different manner that when you do it, it makes a whole new story. Still using the same values, still using the same ideas, still answering the same question, but you can, instead of changing it from a marble tournament to a full-on contact to the death baking tournament. I don't know, it sounded kind of fun, you know, but who knows. Iron Chef style. Or whatever you want to fill in the blank there. Come on, take pity on me, throw me a bone. I've got to read like 40 of these, make some of them kind of interesting. It makes my day go by a little better. Prevents me from getting more insane. So, second paragraph. Now, the second paragraph, this is where you are actually showing your work. But you're not really showing it, you're verbalizing it and putting it into prose. So this is where you are giving me the explanation. Now the explanation is exactly that. You tell me in words that you type down mathematically what you've done to accomplish your solution. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. It's 3 points for the rephrase, 3 points for the explanation. Even if everything you explain is completely wrong, I don't care. The point is you're going through this project, hopefully working or talking to somebody else, taking math, that one side of the brain, and then switching it over to the other side of the brain, and then put it into prose. Okay, those 2 parts of the brain is joined together, the whole language center and the mathematical processing center for logic. you want to put them together and get them to work together a bit. So if you have to talk your way through the problem, explain what you've done, hopefully it gives you a better understanding of what you've been working with. That's why the answer is only worth 1 point. So if you do everything we're talking about, you get a 9 out of 10. If you do the rephrase and do it a special way, you get that bonus point, you can still get a 10 out of 10 with the answer wrong. Whoa, Bowman, mind blown. 100% credit with one wrong answer? I know, in math, it's usually always just about the answer, but this focus on these projects is a little bit different. So your explanation. The third one, of course, is a little different. That's your conclusion. Now, your conclusion is going to be about why you think you're right or wrong. Okay? I think I'm wrong. I have no idea what I did. I just guessed. And that's valid. Put a little more thought into it than that. I think I'm right because my daddy said so. Because my mommy told me I'm the best in the world. I know, it's a bit sarcastic. I'm laying a little heavy. Sorry, I got a hangover from the enchiladas I had for lunch. But you get the idea, okay? Put a valid, thoughtful paragraph together about your conclusion. Don't just obviously say, because my mommy, daddy, or tutor told me so. Whoever I worked with, we decided this is the way it's going to be, and gosh darn it, that's what it is. And I'm pretty too, Mr. Bowman. Or handsome, or whatever adjective you want to throw in there, I don't care. Amazon delivery in the middle of the street making a U-turn at a three-way intersection. Yeah, glad it's him and not me. Things you see out your window. Mr. Bowman, you're rambling. I know, it's Sunday, what can I say? So, you rephrase the question, 3 points. You explain what you've done, 3 points. You write down a conclusion, who you worked with, why you think you're right or wrong, and also, very importantly, at this point on the third paragraph, that's where you're going to want to spell out your answer really clearly. Why? Because it makes it a lot easier for me when I'm grading it, because I know that's where I'm looking for the answer, obviously. So, 3 paragraphs, and by a paragraph, we're not talking about a dissertation. We're talking about a paragraph, okay? The explanation is going to be pretty substantial, depending on what you've done. The rephrase is going to be fairly short, and the conclusion in this case should be fairly short. This is not rocket science in this math project. If you have a solid understanding of fractions and ratios, you can have no problem solving this. You can even apply an algebraic expression to do it that way too, using an unknown variable, and basically come with like an inequality. You can do that also. That's my hints that I'm going to give you there. That's all the hints I'm going to give you, so don't bother asking me. Do this project, work with anybody you want to, show all of your work and scratch work, typed on a doc, then all submitted and put together to me. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to be looking for. All right, enough randomness on a Sunday. We're going to talk about tax rate and other stuff this week. Just for a quick reminder, if you do look at this, remember this coming week we're on remote for 2 weeks. That means Monday is periods 1, 2, and 3. Tuesday is period 4, 5, 6. Wednesday is an asynchronous day with office hours and meetings. Then Thursday is period 1, 2, 3. And then Friday period 4, 5, 6. Okay, hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving break. I'll talk to you later.